Hi, my name is Marc Randolph. I'm a mentor to early stage startups, and in my previous life I was an entrepreneur who started 6 companies. No, there is no recipe because it's entirely improvisatory. It's like when you cook, when you really know what you're doing and you kind of can sense, I need a dash of this, I need a little bit of that. And the thing about innovation is it's different every time. If there was a formula, it wouldn't really be innovation. If there was one thing I'd say is important for innovation, it's that you have to at least do something, and you have to be flexible. Because every time you try something, you're going to learn something new. Both. I think what's happened is, I'll say better. Fortunately and unfortunately, entrepreneurship has become this popular thing. There's movies about it, there's books about it, and all of a sudden everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, and that's a good thing. The bad thing is I'm not sure everyone quite realizes what's involved, how hard it is, how much work it takes, how you sometimes have to keep trying and trying and trying and trying with things not working until finally you make a breakthrough. So I think I'm encouraged by having more, and I'd like to have even more people being confident to try and make their dreams come true. But I think people also need to begin getting some of the skills and the discipline of doing it well. Well, first of all, there's hundreds of mistakes that entrepreneurs make, but you actually pointed out a very good one when you said lose focus. I think the single biggest mistake I see is people try to do everything. And by the very nature of a startup, you can't do everything. In fact, you can do a very small amount of things. You're going to have hundreds of things that are broken. You're going to have so many things that are on fire and all crying out to you to fix them. But the real skill is recognizing there's fundamentally just one or even 2 things that if you get just them right, it'll lift the whole enterprise. And the skill is identifying those things and then having the courage and discipline to stay focused on them. When I hear an entrepreneur talk about all this wide range of things they're going to try and do, I roll my eyes. I go, they're not going to make it. They've got to have a very clear picture of the most important thing to get right and be totally focused on making that happen. So when I was a lad, when I did my first startups were hard. I mean, even a simple thing like putting together a website would take months and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now you can spin up a website in about 10 minutes and for free. Same thing goes with security, same thing goes with the data, same thing goes with server redundancy. It is so easy now to get started. And I forgot the question. So when I was starting out, it was really hard to start a company. It took a long time. It took a lot of money. So convincing an investor was really hard. But because there was no way to prove it without doing it, they had to have the courage to put the money down on nothing more than an idea, on a slideshow. Not anymore. Now you can't get funded on just your idea. You have to demonstrate that your idea really works. And so the biggest error I see is people going in for investment pitches and saying, imagine if you will, or just think what will happen when. And I say, who cares? I don't believe you. Prove it to me. So the real skill these days in getting funded is figuring out how to prove that your idea is real. It doesn't need to be scalable. It doesn't need to be repeatable. It just needs to be something you can demonstrate that the idea you have, that someone's going to buy something, or use something, or do something, is real. That's what gets you funded. Well, I guess the world relies more on entrepreneurs now than ever. Essentially, the skill of an entrepreneur is recognizing there's not a clear path, that things are broken, that there's problems. And entrepreneurs thrive when they see problems because that's what needs to get fixed, and that's where innovation comes from. So as scary as it is that so many of our institutions are breaking down, that just creates more opportunities for young people, for entrepreneurs to create new solutions. So although I am a little bit depressed about the state of affairs sometimes, I actually think there's a lot of opportunity now to make things better. And that's a good thing for entrepreneurs. So, hello to Startup Radio. It's great to be here, and I wish all of you the best with your startups.